Amobee CEO Trevor Healy, he actually just took the role over 1 week ago. Ahead of that, he was Chief Innovation Officer at Telefonica Europe. He's also a former Vice President of PayPal and a former CEO of internet telephone company Jaja. Thank you so much for coming in. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So you're fairly new to the job.
I am.
So put things into perspective for us. The mobile advertising is sort of, it's not exactly, it's still a small part of the advertising market as a whole, right? But this is something that's been enjoying rapid growth?
Yeah, as part of the overall market, still relatively small, but probably the fastest growing segment of the market. In relative terms, we're starting to see billions of dollars now come into the mobile market. So not as big as TV, for example, which is over $150 billion, but extremely fastly accelerating.
And what's fueling that revenue?
Well, I think the fueling is coming from the fact that consumers are spending more time looking at their phones. And, as a personal use case yourself, think about the amount of times you spend looking at your device every day, vis-a-vis looking at other media. So as consumers' eyeballs move towards their mobile phones, tablets, etc., so does the advertising dollars.
And what are the advantages of your specific service, your exchange? What do you offer that your competitors don't?
Well, we're the advertising company for the big guys.
Yeah.
So we focus on very large-scale advertising campaigns. So if you're looking to do a mobile advertising campaign in 50 to 100 countries, spend millions of dollars every month in doing so, Amobee is probably a good company for you.
But you're still relatively small when you compared to, well, I mean, the likes of Facebook and Google. I mean, these are absolute giants in the industry, right? And these are guys that are also making acquisitions because they're interested in this industry. Does this make life difficult for you?
Well, in terms of Facebook and Google, they were our size one day also. But I think we're not that far behind in terms of our focus. Facebook does a lot of things in social networking. Google does a lot of things online, email, search, etc. So I would say where Facebook and Google might be a large department store, we're a boutique.
Okay, and so with that in mind, are you looking to make acquisitions?
I think so. I mean, I think we made a very good acquisition in the last 18 months. We bought a company here in London, Ring Media, founded by two excellent London entrepreneurs. It's worked out really well for us. And I wouldn't rule out the fact that in the next 12 months you'll start seeing us expand through acquisition and also organically.
And what sort of companies are you looking for?
Well, companies which are pure plays in mobile. We'll probably look at some things in Asia. Asia is a fast-growing market. We just opened up an office in Singapore, hired the head of advertising, ex-Microsoft and Yahoo there to head up our Singapore office. So you'll see us do geographic-based acquisitions and also other areas where we may need to fill product gaps.
And what about the potential for deals then over in the US?
For sure in the US also. I mean, I think in the US we'll look more at technology-based acquisitions, potentially around 3D advertising and other new ad units.
And do you think we are going to see more consolidation in the market as a whole, more companies like yours spending on acquisitions? Because right now it's quite a fragmented market, isn't it?
Well, it's a fragmented market, but what you're starting to see is a kind of coagulation of players. So you're starting to see a number of key players grow in size. And then, the market naturally will separate the wheat from the chaff, and you'll see some players grow bigger than others.
And the other interesting thing about Amobee is that Vodafone and Telefonica have stakes in the company, don't they? So, I mean, what's the point of that? What are their goals in partnering with you?
Yeah, both Vodafone and Telefonica, my old alma mater,
yeah?
have stakes in the company. I think the reason they've taken a stake in the organization is they have something that's very unique in the mobile market. They have great information around what consumer wants and preferences are. And for them to be able to work with us on that type of data allows us to do much better targeting. We really don't want to send ads to consumers that may not be of interest to them. And also, from an advertiser perspective,
yeah.
The famous quote, I you know, I know half my money I spend in advertising is wasted. I just don't know which half.
So this
needs to
gives
be
you
targeted.
a very specific advantage over your competitors in terms of targeting certain age groups, certain demographics.
Exactly, and also certain handsets.
And can you talk to me a little bit about Google's advertising acquisitions? Because, you know, Google's bought AdMob, DoubleClick. It's now seeking approval for of a company called AdMel that would help companies manage display advertising online. Are you concerned that they might become dominant in this business?
I mean, I think Google will have a role to play. There's no doubt about it. It's a very large company, and if it decides to play, it will be a player. But I think, as we see in search, you know, you have Bing as well as Google and others, Yahoo, as well in portals. You have many. I think there's room for others.
But to what extent do these kind of acquisitions threaten Amobee?
I think it's absolutely a threat, for sure. You know, you have to be honest about it. It's a threat. But I think, you know, customers vote with their spending power, and we haven't certainly seen any spending fall off. In fact, it's actually increasing exponentially.
And you would also counter that by making acquisitions of your own?
Correct.
Okay, well, good to talk to you. Trevor Healy, Chief Executive Officer of Amobee. Thank you very much for coming in.